YouTube, it's TCG here and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. Today we're checking out the top 5 most impactful cards from Destined Rivals, a humongous set that will shape up the meta game quite a bit because we're gonna get a lot of new archetypes and a lot of new tech cards, so it's gonna be very excited to be playing the Pokemon TCG. The set releases next week, so if you guys are excited for this video, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. And without further ado, let's talk about the most impactful cards in my opinion. So yeah, if your opinion is different or any card you want to be having a shout out here as well, let me know in the comment section. But for me, these are the most impactful cards. If we're taking a look at the results from the Japanese tournaments, the city leagues over there, the Champions Leagues that happened there, for me personally, Team Rocket's Watchtower is the most influential card in my opinion, as you now compact with something that can finally shut down draw engines. We have a lot of draw engines in the format. Think about the Dunsparce, Pidgeot EX with the Quick Surge ability, Noctowl with the Jewel Seeker, Squawk ability, even Ditto, Fan Rotom. You can now shut down Blood Moon Ursaluna in the late game, so you don't have to worry about, has the opponent like have Boss and Blood Moon shenanigans. You can shut down Bouffalant, so the defensive power of something like a Terapagos goes down the drain. Eevee also gets shut down, the boosted evolution. And also, as a bonus, you can now start playing Slacking to shut down that crippling ability. So, as you see here, this Stadium card alone, the Team Rocket's Watchtower, it shuts down Carlos Pokemon, their abilities, which is very strong. Pair that up with Unfair Stamp, pair that up with Iono, and you're gonna have a very great time. Like in the past, how many times have you lost games because you said like, oh no, the opponent has established a Pidgeot EX, there's nothing I can do about it, I most likely lose the game. Now you have something that can combat that. You can actually slap down Team Rocket's Watchtower and play a Disruption card, and something like a Pidgeot EX on board will do absolutely nothing. Something like, oh, the opponent has a Hoot Hoot, I hope they don't draw into Night Stretcher or Ultra Ball to find Noctowl to win the game. Well, that's gonna be very impactful. Now you can actually do so. That means against stuff like Terra Box, against stuff like Raging Bolt, for example, if you're able to, of course, slap that down in combination with Disruption, you're gonna have a very winnable condition right there, because you no longer have to worry about, oh, are they gonna find a Noctowl and all that stuff. Also, when the opponent has established a bunch of Dunsparce and they haven't activated them, so they're technically Iono proof, you can now make sure with the Team Rocket's Watchtower that all those abilities do absolutely nothing. How about a turn 1 Team Rocket's Watchtower where you shut down Squawk ability from being activated, Fan Rotom from being activated, and the Ditto from being activated with a transformative start. That's also super cool, right? So if you slap it down early on, and that's why it's something like this, if decks start to incorporate more copies of the Stadium card, this will actually shape up the meta game quite a bit, and I adore a card like this. Now we just need a card that could also shut down Pheasantipity, and I'll be content. But yeah, we cannot ask for anything specifically at the moment. We are very happy to get a card like this. I love defensive cards because you're going to be able to come back in the game. You can finally play an Iono and make sure the opponent doesn't draw out of it with their Noctowls and all that stuff. So the Noctowl engine will be punished quite a bit. Also, the defensive Terapagos deck might actually crumble quite easily. As an example, Terapagos could actually have Bouffalant in play, and then you actually technically have a 290 HP Terapagos, which is very hard to deal with. But now if you slap down Team Rocket's Watchtower, put a Defiance Band on your Dragapult EX, you suddenly one-shot the Terapagos EX again. So things can go wrong horribly for Noctowl based engines. EV Box also cannot evolve instantly when the Team Rocket's Watchtower is in play. So kind of interesting because they cannot fetch their counter stadium because they cannot use Noctowl. So things will shape up quite a bit. And I'm also a big fan of, like, you slap this down, you don't have to worry about, oh, I'm gonna lose, because if the opponent finds a Boss's Orders, the Blood Moon that is currently on the field can actually knock out my Pheasantipity. So yeah, very impactful card for me. That's my #1 pick, Team Rocket's Watchtower. Moving forward, Shaymin. Protection on the bench is back. We have seen it before back in the days with Mr. Mime, then with Mew, then with Manaphy, but now we got Shaymin. Unfortunately, Shaymin is an 80 HP Pokemon, meaning we cannot fetch it with Buddy Puffin, and it also only protects non-rule box Pokemon from being damaged. We already know that Terra Pokemon are already damage proof on the bench because of their terrestrialization effect. But the Shaymin will protect our low HP Pokemon. I have listed them up a little bit here. We have like Marnie's Impidimp, Charmander, Ralts, and Zorua, Dreepy, Gimmighoul, Hoot Hoot, Eaton's Cyndaquil. So a lot of these weak HP Pokemon typically could not deal with like decks that could snipe. Think about Ensdar Manatan, turn 2, poof, everything is gone. So that's very annoying. Maybe a Baby Raging Bolt sniping your only Curlia or your Dracloak, very annoying indeed. Wellspring Ogerpon, how many times have you been high rolled by a Terra Box player having Sparkling Crystal in the opening hand in combination with Crispin, and they do turn 1 Torrential Pump and all of your Pokemon are gone? Well, those Pokemon cards are actually nerfed because we now have bench protection. Think about a Kyurem Sweep, forget about it. Screamtail that can like do some crazy stuff in the late game. You can proactively slap down a Shaymin, which is very good. And also the deck Hopzation, which actually wasn't that good to start off with, is now nerfed even further as the bench damage is protected. So I think decks like Dragapult, Charizard, Gardevoir will now navigate towards definitely playing the Shaymin to protect the non-rule box Pokemon. Note to self, you cannot fetch it with Buddy Buddy Puffin, and only your non-rule box Pokemon are protected, so people can still snipe stuff like your Phazandipity that is on board. So think about that cleverly, but it's a well-balanced card that is definitely going to be shaking up the meta, because the cards Darmanitan, Raging Bolt, Wellspring Ogerpon are actually some high roll moments where people can run away with games. And now that it's actually being nerfed a bit, so now we have the Shaymin to protect our low HP Pokemon. So that's my second most impactful card from Destined Rivals. Then we have Marnie's Grimmsnarl, a new archetype sliding its way all the way in the tier A slot. So we get a new archetype all the way at the top tables. Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX is legit. With 4 placements in the top 16 of the Japanese Champions League, we of course know that this deck is already good because that Champions League was played with more, right around 5,000 players. So 4 of these decks got into top 16, so we know it's real. With the Punk Up ability, you're able to accelerate up to 5 basic Darkness energies from your deck to your Pokemon in any way you like, but it's going to be Marnie's Pokemon only that you can accelerate energies upon. The cool thing is that you can thin out your deck so only great cards remain in the deck, and you don't need to waste your attachment of the turn onto your Pokemon. This means that you can safely put your Darkness energy of the turn on Monkey Dory. Monkey Dory, one of the strongest cards in this modern age, because with Adrena Brain you can put damage that is being placed on yourself all the way to the opponent. Because we're playing Frozlaz as well, we're damaging our own Monkey Dory or even our own Marnie's Grimmsnarl, and we're putting all that damage that's being placed upon us all the way onto the opponent. So very, very strong indeed. There's even capabilities of using TM Devolution to, of course, devolve high HP Pokemon. Think about Dragapult EX, Charizard EX, opponents Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX. You can devolve them, and if they have enough damage counters, he can swoop entire fields. It also helps with consistency that we also get Spike Muff Gym, which allows you to get, once during your turn, a Marnie's Pokemon. So this means we don't have to play that many Ultra Balls, so we can fetch our Marnie's Grimmsnarl through the means of that very powerful Stadium card. And there's also the Shadow Bullet slapping 180, enough to 2-shot most Pokemon in the game right now. And also with the residual damage on the bench, 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, that can actually stack up quite a bit, because Shadow Bullet in combination with double Monkey Dory can definitely wreck a lot of fields right there. So your manual attachment doesn't need to be on the Marnie's Grimmsnarl, it has to be on Monkey Dory, and that makes the deck very strong. So this is going to be a tier A archetype, very influential card, and it's going to be my number 3 pick for most influential cards from Destined Rivals. Number 4, Eaton's Typhlosion. Eaton's Typhlosion is one of the strongest one-price Pokemon coming from Destined Rivals. At first, I thought I was going to be putting Crustle up on the list, but wall decks haven't been performing all too well, so that's why I didn't do it. But this is the most influential one-price Pokemon as an attacker, because Eaton's Typhlosion with the Buddy Blast slaps 40 damage plus 60 more for every Eaton's Adventure card in your discard pile. Eaton's Adventure is a supporter, allowing you to get any combination of 3 Pokemon and 3 Eaton's Pokemon and basic fire energies into your hand. So not only can you have consistency while playing this, if there are a lot of them in the discard pile, you're slapping a lot of damage. The cool news is Eaton's Quilava is a stage 1, allowing you to get once during your turn an Eaton's Adventure card into your deck. So if you're playing something like a TM Evo build, you can get 2 Quilavas out on your first turn with the TM Evo strategy, and then the following turn you can get 2 Eaton's Adventure cards out and just play Research or Ultra Ball to get them in the discard pile. That means you can rack up damage quite quickly, and if there are 4 Eaton's Adventure cards in your discard pile, you're slapping 280 damage for 1 energy. That is kind of crazy. That's already enough to deal with stuff like, I would say, Goldango and Zoroark, etc., which is great. But with maximum belt shown up in the list, you can actually slap 330 damage, which is kind of humongous. There is, of course, ways to play this. People in Japan have tested this out with the Dunsparce, with stuff like Goldango EX, with stuff like Dragapult EX. So technically, in the Goldango and the Dragapult deck, yeah, you're actually using Eaton's Typhlosion as a backup attacker. This means that Eaton's Typhlosion comes into the late game to sweep opponents and also comes back with the effect to just deal with Pokemon walling archetypes. Think about a Cornerstone if you're playing Goldango, or think about a Milotic EX if you're playing Dragapult. So now you actually have an answer if you're playing that into your 60. Incorporating 4 Eaton's Adventure cards and a very thick line of Typhlosion does take up a lot of deck space, but it is rewarding because it slaps just that much damage. And I do see it popping up a lot in the City League results. So for me, that's also quite an influential card in the Destined Rivals format. And then the last one, of course, Rocket's Mewtwo. The reason why I put it on here, it hasn't performed all too well, but sometimes you do see it winning a City League. That's with 64 players, so pretty much like a very big League Cup over here in the West. And for me personally, Rocket's Mewtwo is still something we need to like work on. The lists are not refined quite yet, but it has the best engine in the entire game. Team Rocket's Receiver allows you to get any Team Rocket supporter from your deck. And we get Team Rocket's Giovanni, which is pretty much a switch and a boss all into one card. So pretty much Guzma from back in the days of Burning Shadows, but it only works for Rocket's Pokemon. So that's going to be very good in the Rocket's deck because all your Team Rocket's receivers are pretty much Boss's Orders or Gust Effects, which is awesome. We also have the Team Rocket's Proton, allowing you to get 3 Rocket's Pokemon, basic Pokemon, instantly onto your bench. So you have setup and you can use it on your first turn going first. That means you can set your field up with your, all your Pokemon you want with your setup. Definitely going to be necessary because you're also going to be pairing it up with Rocket's Spidops, which actually absorbs an energy from your discard pile every single turn if you want to. That means you can get a ton of energies on board, and with the Rocket's Mewtwo having the most HP out of every 2 prizers I've seen so far, this is definitely going to be very impactful because a 280 HP Pokemon being able to hit up to 280 damage is very strong. The Deletion Sphere slaps 160 and you can discard up to 2 energy from your bench Pokemon, and this attack does 60 more for every energy card you discarded in this way, which means if you discard 2 energies from the Rocket's Psydups, you're going to be able to slap 280, which is crazy. Note to self, you might think, how do I power this up? Very easy. We have the Team Rocket's Energy, which counts as Darkness and Psychic all together as a dual energy. That means you slap it down on your Rocket's Mewtwo, you use the Rocket's Psydups, and then use Energy Switch, and out of nowhere, Rocket's Mewtwo has been established. And there's also the capabilities of course, using other attackers like the Rocket's Mimikyu, for example, which can copy-paste an opponent's active Terra Pokemon's attack, and you don't even need the necessary energies to use the attack, so you can copy-paste Charizard's attack, Dragapult's attack. It's gonna be fantastic for sure. On top of that, we also have the Rocket's Articuno, which prevents all effects of attacks done to your Rocket's Pokemon. So something like the residual damage of a Phantom Dive no longer works when Rocket's Articuno is on the field. And there is way more than that. We also have the Team Rocket's Factory. Like if you've played a Rocket supporter during a turn, you can draw 2 cards. So draw power in a stadium, the best engine in the game with the Team Rocket's Receiver, and having a special energy as well makes this deck actually on paper very good, but people have not performed with it quite well, but it will happen eventually, so that's why I'm putting it here on the most influential card here, Mewtwo in Destined Rivals. So if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Also let me know which kind of cards you would definitely consider being very impactful from Destined Rivals. I want to hear your opinions down below. Also go check out the sponsors, but before we do so, feel free to leave a like. It helps out the channel in many ways. You are helping out a ton, and I am forever grateful if you would do so. And yeah, now a word from our sponsors. Level up your game with TC Evolutions. Breathtaking damage counters, special condition tokens, and ability markers. Precision, style, power. Use coupon ZapdosTCG for 10% off only at TC Evolutions. Also, this video is sponsored by DragonShield.com, the best sleeves in the game. You can get them with 5% off using the coupon ZAPDOS5. BotanStore.com for your TCG Live code card needs. You can get them with 5% off as well using the coupon ZapdosTCG. They come with instant email delivery. And lastly, CARDMARKET.com for European players where you're able to buy as well as sell cards to people all across Europe. You can use the referral name ZapdosTCG to help support the channel. Have yourself a very fantastic rest of your day. Thanks again for tuning in today, and let me know down below in the comment section what your most influential card for Destined Rivals is. I want to hear your opinion. Let's get it out there, and I will see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG epic news. Peace.